Marko here from Fair Realty. Today I'm talking about Airbnb and the fact that the crackdown in Vancouver on Airbnbs is probably purely a political move. They're using Airbnb as a scapegoat for a much larger housing problem that's very complex. And let me tell you why I think they're using Airbnb as a scapegoat. Less than 1% of housing inventory is being used for any sort of Airbnb or vacation rental. So it's a very small percentage of the population to piss off. It's less than 1% of people are going to be pissed off if they can't Airbnb their property. So politically, you don't have much to lose, but it makes it seem with the other 99% like you're doing a lot. The reason I say Airbnb is a scapegoat is there's a million other ways to tackle this problem. But guess what? They're not very politically friendly. For example, let me give you just one example. Here in Victoria and in Vancouver, you have a lot of condominium buildings which do not allow any rentals whatsoever. So the bylaw states that particular building, no rentals. And here in Victoria, where I live, a lot of these buildings are in prime locations, close to universities, close to downtown. They would be great rental options for people, but the owners can't rent them out. And I have a lot of owners, they'll skip country, they'll go traveling for a year, they'll just leave their unit vacant. While they're traveling, they can't rent it to a university student who's in desperate need of housing because the bylaws don't allow it. So what the government could do, which would have a much bigger impact on solving the housing problem, is say, okay, we're going to amend the Strata Property Act, and we're going to amend it in such a way that we're going to put into it that no strata in BC can have a rental restriction. That would be probably a tenfold improvement over cracking down on Airbnbs in terms of improving housing supply. Why isn't the government using that as a scapegoat? Well, guess what? There's a lot of people in BC that live in condos, townhomes, bare land stratas. Do you really want to piss off 30-40% of the population? No, because you're probably not going to get reelected. So you go after something like Airbnb, where you're not going to piss off that many people, and the other 99% think you're actually doing something to solve a much bigger, complex problem that's not going to be solved with cracking down on Airbnbs and vacation rentals. That's my 2 cents for this week. Marko, Juras, Fair Realty.